This man's Michigan, Indigo Black. This is Motorclub Tv, and this is a segment I like to call On Site. Two MCs who about that shit come and we battle, and wherever we decide to meet up at, 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? So tune in.
What up, though? It's your main man, Skinny. Be live on site. What you got?
Heads.
Heads first.
Be first. When it comes to kicking flows, I prefer to free to woo the crowd. But when it comes to forcing me to pin surrender shit, just make me use a style. Dumping on toilet niggas, clean a hater with kabooms and pows. Spray to you bathing cause you forcing me to use it now. King from Kush, Africa. This card with both of us will be a royal flush. The heirlooms with curiosity on what the fuck's going down to this clown. Yeah, this putt. Golf him like I turned this whole day black. Capri Day, turn my bands blue just to give myself a green day. Despite a man, I webbed him in my clout, just for Pete's sake. This work is like working for Ford, cause he need brakes. Nah, full speed down whatever Av Rock can find mass. Pit stop to get gas and to buy a mask. And commit to executing 5 tasks. Rob you, kill you, clean you, hide you, leave you in a body bag. But that's not my stilo though. But nigga, you a bitch and you a joke. Shanae and you ain't dope. Yes, your kilo low. 2 thumbs to feed you, accompanied with these fofos when these motherfuckers knock you back like Capriccio. Whine about it, but your music never fucking celibate. The streets feel you. Only fist to face, yeah, I can tell I hit. Hope you ain't in love with your bitch, you can tell I hit. My flow's piping hot, yours irrelevant. But Maz, you still my nigga though. For the cheese, make you disappear with ease, get you gone for the Figaro. And for your dame, my Rockefeller, make you give up all your motherfucking money, gigolo. Don't know how much time that I got left. All that I know is that I am a rhyme vet. Don't take nothing I said out of context, cause my whole flow bomb and that shit was a bomb threat. Troy.
Sure.
I said when I first heard you rap, my thoughts were he could use some improvement. Then afterwards you tried to battle me. That's how I knew he was clueless. Your whole image screamed, I used to get bullied and I couldn't sit with the cool kids, which ironically led to you jumping in the ring now and becoming one of my students. So how I feel, nigga. You finally up against somebody with some skill, nigga. Somebody who can cut a deal to get others to deal with you. Food for thought, your death get catered, I'm old favors. So if you slide me on some paper, it's Pulp Fiction. We in your crib ready to dump like Vincent Baker. Listen, Troy, you got the hustle, but not the voice. Your pen game, average. Not to be mean, but in this medium, you don't get the point. Cause your physique is just weak. You built like a little boy, this 2 pieces of black, both of your eyes like Freakazoid. Let's kill the noise, little Troy. I'm the man in here. So fly, when I arrive, they need landing gears. I'm fire in the ring like a planeteer. We do walk-ups and light up your crib without a chandelier. I mean, this noob, he wanted smoke, so you got it, bro. I go for the heart. Take it from the chest like Davy Jones. The words I speak be made of stone, could break your bone. Grim Reaper, I came with the cloak claiming your soul. James St. Patrick, one bullet got him playing the ghost. I'm renovating. Nothing you do is innovative. Just another backpacker complaining cause he ain't famous. He like, everybody's sleeping on me. I'm pinning greatness, but if you was really that cold, be no reason for him to say this. Let your work speak. And stop coming across like some burnt geek. I'm following people who don't follow you back, make it look worse, king. You're survival. And on the road to riches, there gonna be potholes, you regular. Just plain in the room like Donnie Darko. I black on everything without scanning a barcode. You had some drive, but then you lost it. Like you ain't been paying your card note. Boy, you so lame. Take this shot to the face. Get Cobain. Man, a noose around your neck, the only way we gon' hang. This a movie. I put that perp in the air like it's so plain. Thought he was digging the plot till he saw it was his own grave, nigga. Bang. So talk to me about how long you been rapping.
almost 14 years now. But if I was saying like rapping from a serious standpoint or like a technical standpoint, it would be almost 7 years.
Okay.
Then if I was to say rapping from like a point of trying to be like marketable, I would say about close to 4 years.
So you're talking about pretty much 3 different eras of you deciding that this is something that you want to do for real. It's kind of like that for me. Like I wrote my first rap probably when I was like 12, but I didn't really like, you know, stay with it. Then I got to like high school, people was rapping, so I might have picked it back up a little bit at 16, rapped a little bit here and there. And then I put it down again. 18, I picked it up. I started like actually recording, making music, you know what I mean, that type of thing. And then I started taking it seriously, like probably like 21, 22, when I started seeing like, yo, there's a scene around here, there's a somewhat of a market, it's something I can at least get into, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So as far as like shows you've done in the city, or just period, what's your overall vibe of it? Of like how they cater to artists, or were some of the shows better for you than others?
Usually they cater their headliner artists always. Everybody knows that. Even open mics, it's a motherfucker who's biased and catered to win, because it's like they are a fan favorite or a normal at that place or whatever, at that venue. It's been times when I've been in a contest, I ain't gonna say no names, but a motherfucker who I know had a protege, and it don't matter who would have did what that night, they already had somebody in line to win the shit regardless.
Right.
So it isn't really based on talent, it's really based on bias, and that's how most of this shit goes. Me, I've always made it my thing to try to outperform, outwork everybody to the point where your bias just crumbles, because it's like, he outworking you. Who is this nigga?
Mm-hmm.
You know? But for the most part, that's what they try to keep. They try to keep the solidarity in the house always winning.
I've seen that a lot, as far as like, even with shows where they have like, I think it's like imported from the D, you know, and I'm not down to none of the winners, because a lot of them are talented that win, but I do realize a lot of it is based on crowd participation. If you got a following, if you can bring people to the doors that can, you know, pay to get in, because they're not really having a judge system based off of like, oh, this person, their song is like this, or their bars are like this, or, you know, they were rapping like this, or they had doubles, you know what I'm saying? It's none of that type of technicality when they picking the winner. It's like, who got it rocking the hardest, who got people responding the hardest, who got the most crowd reaction.
Exactly.
And that makes it harder for a lot of rappers who move like by themselves, who got the talent to be on the stage and to rock, but don't really have the following or whatever, just because of whatever, you know what I'm saying? So how do you get around that, or how do you overcome that and still go on and press forward with your music and who you are as a rapper?
Everything you do, every time you do anything public, 2 things should be on your mind. Treat the shit like it's your last, and be remembered. I've always thought it was corny to bring anybody with me to anything, because one, I hate bias. Anybody that's around me, it's only been like a couple times that people have been around me when I perform, and I don't like how they are. They too biased towards me, and they too emotional based on other people's opinions.
Right.
When it's me by myself, I can only win, because nobody knows me, but I'm leaving known. The way I get around it is just straight up, you just gotta treat that shit like your last and go as hard as you can. I want everybody to question their own people around them. Like, do y'all really work that hard? If this motherfucker who I don't know at all just came in here and shut this bitch down like that? So really, that's all that's to it. I'm a competitor. So I compete. Everything is a proving ground.
You knowing the state of how the game is and how it's more catered to a certain type of rapper, where do you place yourself in that foothold as far as rappers? Are you a rapper's rapper, or are you somebody who's based on the lyricism and science? Do you feel like you have to configure who you are a bit to try to go further, or do you just want to kind of stick to what you feel is like you want to stick to in order to get on that way?
I feel like the stages of growing up as a rapper is the same as the stages of growing up as a man. You used to feel like, you know, you had to do a lot more than you really had to do. When at the end of the day, you just realize, oh, all I had to... ever had to do was really just be myself, and I could have been just as accepted as trying to be flashy or whatever.
Facts.
Within this music shit, it's the same thing. I always felt like back when I wanted to be the nicest with this shit, I always felt like I needed it to be flashier. I needed to talk about shit, but I was like, no, I ain't with that. I'm just a super hip hop person. I want respect over everything. But then when you look back at it, you like the life that you grow accustomed to as you get older, your life becomes materialist. Because if you want to have anything in life, you end up becoming, succumbing to the materialism. So then it's like, if this is my life now, why can't I rap about it?
Right.
I'm not really selling out unless I'm putting this over like morals and life and shit. So like, alright, I found the best of both worlds. If I can talk about it, I can make music about it. It ain't necessarily gotta be enabling drug usage and all kind of shit. Let's say I'm only reflecting on it, so I'm making deep music about it. It's just like it enables my subject matter. It opens my horizons to make all kind of music. So you get the message and you don't get to be bored.
Right.
It's so many tricks and trades that I done found around like my image. But the one thing that I've come to realize is, as long as my music can be versatile, me personally as a self, I don't have to change at all. Because anything you say that I can't talk about, I'll tell you why I can. I can't talk about hood shit. My brother's been in hood shit way before a lot of these niggas was started. And it's not me glorifying what it is. I'm just basically telling the story of the history.
Right.
I can't talk about struggle. Yes, I can. I've been in it. I can't talk about material shit. Yes, I can, because I'm not always talking about having it. I'm talking about my aspirations to get in it,
Right.
to motivate you to want to get in more.
Right.
Anything, evil shit. I can't talk about shit that I ain't did before. Why? I'm just using my creativity, or I'm expressing a thought of emotion that I had to use it symbolically as a metaphor. Like, any way I want to slice it, you can't tell me there's a certain kind of music that I can't make, because it's always gonna come out dope the way that I, orchestrate it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot, because I think similarly, as far as like, as artists, we have a duty to reflect our environment and reflect things that we go through that have gained us or help us grow or to help us understand the world that we are currently in right now. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, everybody done had somebody they know, I feel like, that went through something. You know what I'm saying? I got dead homies. I'm sure you got dead homies.
Oh, yeah.
Dead family members, people in the OD, people that been shot at. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's something that, it's things that we share universally, whether you didn't went through it directly or indirectly, because sometimes you might not be the one to go to jail, but somebody in your family might go to jail, and that could be something that affects your whole family.
Exactly.
And that fallout is something that got to be expressed and it got to be talked about. You know what I'm saying? So you're really limitless in whatever you can talk about and whatever way you can come at it. You know what I'm saying? I know people always be like, they don't like, especially in here, we got like a street side, and I don't want to say that we got like a nerd side, but I want to say it's just the other side. You know what I'm saying? We still can talk about other shit too, but we're not talking about like blowing your brains out or pulling up with like 8 pounds in the car, shit like that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't mean that shit ain't relevant to our life. So how many projects do you have out now? Talk to me about those concepts, and talk to me about how your growth has been throughout those projects.
The ones that are out, I can tell you about, is my very first one, as far as you can search, is Retreat.
Okay.
That was basically just me reflecting on the city and myself, and it was basically like it got a Motown feel to it. So it's taking Detroit hip hop back to a time where it just got like the feeling of like soul to it for real, but it's real. So it's not like I'm just trying to shun out all the like the negativity. I'm embracing it, but I'm doing it in such a way that it's like it's a classic. It'll forever be a classic. And from there, that was where I was really just, that is the project where I was the most me. It was like, hate it or love it, this is me completely. I can't talk about what I don't have or what I ain't did.
Right.
I can talk about what I do have and what I have done. Throughout that whole project, that's really what I was flexing. That, in addition to being able to rap as good as I could as a 19-20-year-old.
Okay.
Now from there, I stepped up and I made a project called Illegal Tender. 2017 Illegal Tender, that one was basically about me getting more on my, making a project that's way less in time length, and way more catchy, but doing it in such a way that's showing that I can do it without taking away from myself as an artist. I can do it and be just as lyrical, maybe even more lyrical, but make this shit catchy enough to where you wouldn't even peep. Making something that's that small, but it's so much in it that it feels longer than what it is, but it got replay value to be on like 32 minutes long.
Okay.
And it's been good for me. Then from there, I just been dropping like hella singles for real, cause I was like, it's gonna be a minute before I feel like Illegal Tender has gotten the respect it deserves.
Okay.
So from the singles that I've dropped, I feel like they've gotten a lot of more like respect, cause I'm like, fuck projects, why not just drop single. And people have been waking up more, listening to me more. People have grown to listen to me more. Like, I have gotten a lot more support like through the years. And then I've just gotten back to a point where I was like, yeah, I want to drop another project for you. And now I'm just gunning on making this album called Inevitable. Out of everything that I just told you, I hope everything always about me just screams inevitable. No matter what the fuck I had to do to get to this point, or whatever I had to go through, it was meant to happen.
Talk to me. Tell me your best or your favorite accomplishments that you've had rapping wise so far.
My best accomplishment would probably be when Herbal shared me to his Instagram page like 2 years ago. That was big for me because it was one of the moments where it's like you be thinking, should I do this? Nah, I'm not gonna do it. So like I was telling you earlier about like being a go-getter and being remember what you gonna do. I was just trying to get on the radio that night because I go downtown and I go down to like the radio station, try to battle to get on air or whatever. So I had flopped a couple times, and not even like completely flopped. It wasn't good enough. I ain't get enough votes. Should be biased. So you know, like I was like, all right, I was practicing my flows like a motherfucker. Herbal came outside with like a little entourage or whatever. So he walking past. I'm like, Herbal, what the fuck you doing in Detroit? Like, yeah. So he was walking to his van. I'm just trying to practice my flows. Like, this is a distraction. I'm trying to get on the fucking radio, my nigga. Then it hit me like, nigga, you don't go rap for that nigga? Yeah. So I went and rapped for him. Actually, first I was just trying to get him to listen to one of my songs. He tried to throw me a slight curve, said that he didn't have Apple Music on his phone.
Slight curve.
Slight curve. So then it's like I saw the opportunity fading, plus everybody that was in the van with him, they was just staring at me. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll spit. They didn't think I would spit. It's like, you will spit. I'm like, yeah, I'll spit. And it's like, all right then. And I saw him pull his phone out there. So I spit some shit. He thought it was cold. Put that shit on his Instagram story. Next thing I know, a whole bunch of people were just blowing up my fucking gram. Yeah. And it was just like, it was a good feeling for me because every time that I get any type of exposure, it lets me know that I'm not necessarily 100% in the wrong on the confidence that I feel for myself.
Right.
Because as I've always said, if I was able to break through them floodgates, motherfuckers will love me just because they love what's real and they love skill. And that was proven through that. Another good thing, Hot Girl Summer, something recent. Being able to make that song and seeing how much it rolls on Apple Music, that shit is at like 190-something thousand streams right now, just to be dropped last June 21st. And fucking my whole Apple Music catalog, thanks to Hot Girl Summer, is now past 200,000 streams altogether. So you know, I'm just rocking as a nigga who you see be by himself, nobody with him for real.
And that's great numbers in itself because even established artists who got followings hit around that number or might not even hit that number, you know what I'm saying?
Motherfuckers don't believe me when I tell them that.
Yeah.
I be like, niggas who be signed or motherfuckers who be popping in the streets heavy, they be having the YouTube views. Motherfuckers go to YouTube quick. But will you get Apple Music or Spotify and actually stream this motherfucking shit? You would be surprised if motherfuckers really drop how many plays they really get on them streaming sites.
So those are big accomplishments, man. Talk to me about what you do outside of rapping. Like, I seen some of your skits creatively with battle rap, stuff like that.
Hey yo, what's up? It's the most hated canned good, representing for all my cabinets, cupboards, and drawers. I say yo, I'm getting tired of seeing you open this cabinet and picking every other can to cook with. Honestly, I ain't having it. Sleeping on beans cause I ain't extravagant. When this recession hit and you don't got no fucking food, we'll see who's laughing in.
I think they're funny. I like them a lot. And I think those have the potential of virality as well. You know what I'm saying? So tell me about what made you think about doing stuff like that. Where do you see that possibly going?
It's a gift and a curse because everybody love them, but I really don't be wanting to make more and more when I see that they don't get like that much viewership. They get some, they be hype, but like what made me want to do it is of course battle rap. Me liking battle rap. On one hand, it's me feeling like, alright, I'm not about to rap your fucking head off and make you bored, so let me find a way to creep this shit into you through comedic relief.
Right.
Alright, boom, I got skits. And I'm gonna make it like real zany. And I'm like in hopes that maybe this shit is just gonna get people to actually like, hold up, this funny, but he rapping like kinda hard. Let me see what his real catalog looking like. And that's basically what's been happening. As far as the skits, I want them to go far, but even if they don't, I just love making skits in general. Outside of music, I do all kind of media, editing, shooting. The sky's the fucking limit, honestly. That's just something that I do that I know get a quick laugh out of people right there. Because I know people will be like, yeah, this is very entertaining, but it's so much more than meets the eye to this shit.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely, I like the writing of the objects and stuff like that too. And I just, I see the mind behind it, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate the comedic aspect of it.
I always try to make it to where, like, it's something that feels unappreciated. It gives it a reason to battle. That's why the very first one was the fucking can of beans.
Right.
Beans is the most unappreciated canned good.
Right.
It got a reason to light your ass up.
So man, alright bro, I appreciate your time, man.
Yeah, you already know, man. I got a lot of respect for you.
Thank you, man.
And happy birthday, nigga.
Thank you as well, man. Big 3-0. Shout out to you, fam, coming out, man. It's Motorclub TV, man. We signing off. Catch you soon.